Come on home. Turn me on.
That's better.
Turn me on.
You're being Nora Jones.
Thank you. Well done for knowing that song. That's unusual for a Neanderthal like you to know a Nora Jones song.
Love a bit of Nora Jones, me.
K-Billy's super sounds of the 70s weekend just keeps on coming with this little ditty that reached up to 21 in May of 1970.
Welcome to Nerds Chatting, movie, TV, comic chat. Thanks for tuning in.
Welcome everybody to the NerdSchatting podcast. My name is Nate and with me are my two co-hosts, Ben and JB. Hello boys.
Stop doing the co-hosts.
Hey, it's Ben. How's it going? Please, and a bit of pep. Come on,
Sorry.
a bit of pep.
Hello,
What are we
welcome
doing?
everybody. We are the NerdSchatting. We talk about movies and TV shows and comic books and all things nerdy. You alright there, Ben? Having
What's
a drink?
wrong with you? What's wrong with
me?
you?
I'm not doing anything wrong.
I'm talking like this. This is
Am
my.
I?
Yeah, you
sexy
sound
voice.
Do you know
really
what it
sorry
is?
good.
Headphones.
Yeah, your headphones are on,
I'll
aren't
take
they?
them off. There we go. Is that better?
Yes!
That
Oh!
suddenly sound better. No.
Not
It's
really.
like-
I can still hear you.
It's like earmuffs. Put the earmuffs back
That's
on.
fine. Okay. It was a bit weird. It was a bit weird, but
Yeah.
I'm back now.
Now we're back in the room.
Put my
So,
beard on the microphone.
Next week, Quentin Tarantino is releasing his 9th movie.
Next week-ish, maybe the week
I
after.
think it's Wednesday, isn't it?
Is it Wednesday?
I think it's Wednesday.
I
next
don't
week.
know. I've
so
lost
in
track of time.
in 2 weeks' time, we'll be reviewing that. So in preparation for 2 weeks' time. Oh no, JB's not going to be here.
No.
He's shaking his head like, nope, not me.
No.
It's fine. We'll get a guest on. Someone better.
Can't improve on perfection,
So
gents.
before that, we're going to talk about his 8 previous movies
Yes, we are. Yes.
this week.
This week.
But before that, should we do some broken news?
Oh, let's.
Broken news.
So broken news, for anyone who doesn't know, is we are not here to tell people the news. We're here to tell people our opinion of the news.
That's right,
Hence,
yeah.
it's broken. We're not alerting
it's not
you to
breaking.
something.
It's
Is it
broken.
already?
Broke eggs, isn't it?
This is terrible. Rutger Hauer passed away.
Yes, he did. That's a shame, isn't it? It's he wasn't very old. Was he 75? That's not old enough to pass away, is
not
it?
okay. No.
Apparently, he'd had a short illness whilst you're sipping on your amaretto and coke there that just dripped onto your new laptop.
Delicious. No, it was on my
That's
shorts.
okay.
It's fine. Yeah.
He had a short illness and then just like that, gone. That's terrible. That's very terrible.
There was I don't know if this is in poor taste or not, but in Blade Runner, the movie that he starred in as the villain,
yes.
his character passes away in 2019.
Oh,
wow.
I hadn't even considered that. Of course.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's the most iconic role, you might say.
Roy Batty. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
Great actor. Very sad that he's gone.
Yes, and I like most films that I saw of his. So yeah,
There
that's
was
a shame.
one he did that I never saw that I wanted to. That I might have to pick up now. The Hitcher.
Oh, okay.
The
You've not seen
Hitchhiker. The Hitcher, isn't it? The Hitcher. Well, he's like some crazy.
He's the Hitcher.
Yeah,
and
he, like,
he's
kills people
a
and stuff.
psychopath. Yeah,
I think it did wonders for hitchhikers.
or not.
Or
yeah,
not, it's supposed to
yeah.
be. It was the Jaws of hitchhikers.
It's a real schlocky horror B-movie 80s film. It's great. It's great, and he's great in it.
The cover of it is just like him on a dusty road holding like a shotgun.
Yeah, that's about right. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was remade in the noughties, I think, with Sean Bourne as the Hitcher.
Oh no.
Yeah, no good.
No.
Anyway, R.I.P. Rutger Hauer.
I'm just looking. He's done loads of movies.
Oh yes.
I mean, a lot of them.
Batman Begins.
Yeah.
He's very good in Batman Begins as villain.
Which was the one when he had they're in a prison and they got the things around their neck and it blows their heads off? Is that Rutger Hauer? Maybe not. I don't know. Who knows?
Let's say yes and move on.
Okay, fine.
Dave is yelling at us right now.
I think I know
Dave
the one
knows.
you mean. Is that got Ray Liotta in it as well?
It might be.
It's not Escape Plan with Sylvester Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger, is it?
No, it's definitely not that.
No, it's not that.
Professionals right now.
I think I
don't
know the
know.
one you mean. But
Yeah, it's not, maybe not that one.
If only there
I
was a
don't know.
device that we could look at
It's
Rutger
just-
Hauer's IMDb list.
I'm looking for it now, and I can't find it.
Should we move on?
Yes,
do
let's.
Let's open that link up. I should have planned this ahead. But I haven't.
Oh my goodness, why didn't you do this?
So, Ava DuVernay, who is a bit of a mouthful, who's the director of the New Gods movie that's coming out,
Yes, she is.
has confirmed some casting stuff. Well, not people that cast, but some characters that will definitely be in it.
Okay.
And this is intriguing.
Is it?
Well, Darkseid's going to be in it.
Really?
Yes.
Definitely?
Well, I mean, it's not intriguing if you took this piece of news standalone and you said, new Gods movie is going to have Darkseid, anyone that reads DC Comics will go, well, yeah, obviously. But why it's interesting is that Justice League completely chickened out of this and took Darkseid out, and they put in Steppenwolf, and it was supposed to be a two-parter, and Darkseid was going to come in later, and blah blah blah.
And release the Snyder Cut.
Yeah, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So in IRL, in real life, it's an interesting piece of news, but when you just take it from New Gods movie, Darkseid's in it, it's like, yeah.
About time too?
Yeah, about time too.
About time too.
It's what are the planets the New Gods hail from? So there's Apocalypse, which is Darkseid's gang.
Genesis, I believe.
Yeah, that feels about right. Yeah,
let's say it is that.
Sure.
Yeah.
JB, yes, he was in No Escape with Ray Liotta, where they're on a prison planet and they're left to die, and the prisoners split up into two different camps, and they're always at each other.
I said Escape Plan. That's close.
You were close. You were good.
Yeah,
Can I just say you guys are good? You guys are good. I think I'm just normal today.
Thank you.
So there will be some people we know in this movie. John Leguizamo is going to be in it, who on this news story is quoted as being from John Wick, but John Leguizamo is from the Mario Brothers movie.
Wow, I mean
that is what he's from.
Is that going to be on his tombstone?
Yeah.
John Leguizamo. Yeah. He was Luigi in the Mario Brothers.
He was
movie.
Luigi Mario. Because Mario is called Mario in that movie.
Yes, apparently he is.
Oh my goodness!
But it's also going to have Michael K. Williams in it.
Yes.
Those are some good sort of character actors. People will probably know of them and go, "Oh, those guys! They've been in loads of things." But for them to star in a film like a tentpole action movie, this is good for them, I think.
How do you guys feel about this DC movie?
New Gods. Well. How do I feel about any DC movie? I haven't seen the last two that came out.
Well, that's what I mean in the context of DC movies.
I think they might have some... I don't think they have a tough sell.
Go on.
I don't think they're going to have as tough a sell. Hang on, let me get my words right here because I'm getting them wrong. I think Marvel will have an easier sell with Eternals than DC will have with New Gods. I know they're different characters, and they're different, but there's a cosmicness
There's an interesting thread between them, isn't there? Like you say, these sort of super cosmic beings who are not human and have human
looking, but aren't human. Yeah. I hope it goes well.
JB, as the non-comic book reader.
Right.
Thoughts on New Gods?
I'll just say if DC follow the way that they've been going, it's going to be crap.
Well, you say that, but Shazam was pretty good.
I haven't seen it.
And people love Aquaman as well.
But Aquaman's not good. It's colourful, but it's not good.
It wasn't very good.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman's very good.
Wonder Woman's great.
We've said about Batman vs Superman, director's cut, very good.
Very good, yeah.
But that's how many
show.
How many have I done? 3, 4 out of how many have they released?
Man of Steel was great. Got its issues.
Love
it. Great. Immediately then follows on with, it's got its issues.
Yeah, we did a rewind review of it where I said I love this movie, and then ripped it to shreds.
So I would say that the hit rate for DC is not as good as Marvel. They've got like an 80%. Marvel's got an 80% hit rate. You know. Yeah. And DC, I would probably say would only got like 40, maybe 50%. So they got half a chance.
Yeah, fair enough.
This could help. This could help.
Yes, I think going in the direction of like a bit wacky and a bit different and a bit spacey is the right way.
Well, yes, you said you both like Shazam, didn't you?
I haven't seen Shazam.
Oh,
I still haven't seen the trailer for Aquaman or the film.
You need to dip your bread in, son. Put it in there.
The person in the corner over there,
excuse me,
Shazam.
Oh yeah, it's really good.
There you go.
Yeah, fine.
There you go. There's a review from the corner.
Oh, brilliant.
What about Aquaman? Reviewer from the corner.
I've not seen Aquaman. That was before my time.
Yeah, that's nice.
Interesting. That's very good.
Apparently, she's only 18 months old.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. So, but the other thing, we've talked about Darkseid a lot here, but there's also going to be the Furies, and I can't read that without thinking furries, but it's Furies because it's only one R, and furries are a whole different thing.
Don't go into what furries are. We know what furries
just
are. What are the Furies?
Google it if you don't know.
Tell people
the Furies are. They're a bit like the Valkyries. They're kind of like female warrior figures that protect Darkseid. They're like the super soldiers of Apocalypse.
You have Mr. Miracle in this.
Absolutely, 100%. Because a Big Barda is one of the Furies and is married to Mr. Miracle. So 100%.
So John Luigi Mario is going to be Mr. Miracle.
Is he a bit old for that?
Are you a bit ageist?
Well, no, because I think that Mr. Miracle is going to be your hero, your A-list hero in this. He's going to be your pretty boy. He's going to be your Chris Pine, your Chris Hemsworth, your help me out with something else.
Pretty boy
other
actors.
generic attractive men.
Yeah, okay.
And I think John Leguizamo is probably going to be. He'd be a good Darkseid. He'd be a left field Darkseid, but he'd be good.
Because I'd always then consider Darkseid as the clown from Spawn. And I don't want that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, John Leguizamo. I cannot say Louis. What is
No,
his name?
isn't it? No, it is him. You're right. It is him.
I know it's him.
I thought it was Martin Sheen, but no, he was the human character. Yeah.
How do you say his last name?
Leguizamo.
Why can't I say it?
Because you're
An idiot.
An idiot. Yeah,
Oh well.
absolutely, yeah.
Never mind. That sounds fun.
So
I might watch it.
It's like trying to get hype, right? Something's going on in the background.
A bear is attacking someone in the background.
Oh,
It's
right.
fine.
Okay.
Don't
Well,
worry
it
about
happens. It happens. You know, it happens from time to time.
Maybe to sneak.
So
Search bear. Sorry.
Focus.
Focus. Skyrim's on in the background.
Okay.
Who in this room saw Venom?
Nope.
Me, I saw it on Sky the other week, and it was
Terrible.
mostly on there. But there were some good bits when Venom was talking to Eddie Brock. Other than that, it was meh.
So it was what the trailer said, right?
Yeah,
the trailer
pretty
was
much.
like, I don't really want to see this film.
No, it's rubbish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they're making a sequel because obviously.
Enough people enjoyed it. And don't get me wrong, just because I didn't like it, I mean, other people won't like it, and other people did like it. I think it made a bit of money, and, some of the effects were all right. Some of them were just great big spaghetti messes of CGI on the screen that no one could really understand.
It looked like spaghetti mess of CGI.
Yeah.
So Andy Serkis is likely, very, very likely to be directing Venom 2 because he was... Sorry. My favourite, Tom Hardy.
Sure.
No one likes Tom Hardy.
Keep it down in the back.
My favourite Tom Hardy tweeted or Instagrammed or something, social media'd a picture of Andy Serkis.
And that's it.
That's it. Okay. I mean, he's been sort of rumoured for it before.
But
we had a pause there. You looked at me, you were like, really, Nate? Really?
I side-headed.
Yeah,
so the story is, Tom Hardy posted a picture on Instagram or some other form of social media
It was
Andy
Instagram.
Serkis.
It was Instagram, yeah.
And therefore, now everyone's saying, oh, that means he's going to direct Venom 2.
Yeah.
Is that a bit of a reach?
That's a big reach.
Well,
Feels like a bit of a reach.
I think it's the way that the world works now. I
Really?
agree. It does feel like a reach,
Uh-huh.
but no, I think that is how it works now.
Do you remember a couple of years back now when John Cleese posted a picture of himself with a load of DC comic books in the background?
Yes,
and
I
he
do.
followed a load of actors who were in that current realm of DC movies.
Yes, and everyone said,
oh my god, he's going to be
Darkseid.
someone.
or no, they said the Allfather, Allfather,
Yeah.
Allfather, the opposite of Darkseid.
Yeah, and who was he?
Nobody.
No one in anything, because he was probably cut out of everything.
Yeah.
So I'm taking this with a giant ball of salt that I'm dropping off
that
my
would be-
shoulder.
That wouldn't make your dinner
Salt.
nice, would it? A ball of salt would be like.
It all depends.
I don't. It's only
With
words
a massive chip, it might be
I'm
right.
going to check out
nice.
this story myself.
One chip and one ball of salt.
Yeah.
Yeah, that works.
Is Andy a good idea for a director then?
Well, he did Mowgli.
Yes.
Anyone see Mowgli?
Nope.
No, but I heard it's pretty good.
There's another hand going up in the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he did Breathe.
Do you know
Yeah.
what?
I'm just not sure. I'm not sure.
I know, I'm not sure about him.
News isn't great this week for me.
I'm sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
What
But
about-
I didn't make the news up, I just found
No,
it.
I'm not saying.
Yeah.
I
It's
have
your
a question.
fault.
What about with his background of playing motion captured performances? What if he were another symbiote?
Oh, I see. So you're saying he's not directing, he's in it.
Yeah. What if he were
Carnage.
What if he motion captured Carnage? Because let's face it,
Woody Harrelson.
Woody Harrelson isn't going to be up for all that. He'll do the when he puts on the Cletus Cassidy wig, but he's not going to be that interested in mocap, is he?
No.
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 I say no.
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 No. So maybe you're right.
Maybe I am right. Maybe
God.
we're all wrong and it's something completely different.
Maybe.
First time for everything, isn't there?
I'm still don't think he is right, but we can let that one go, I think.
Next bit of news.
Next bit of news. Most interesting thing of the week. And this is possibly the most exciting TV news I've heard in a long time.
Good.
Okay.
Tell me.
Okay. Not to build this up anymore.
Well, it's pretty important.
Sure it is.
In
Yeah.
the context of how Batman Mask of the Phantasm is the greatest Batman movie ever made.
Correct.
And it follows on from Batman the Animated Series, which is the greatest cartoon ever made.
Sure.
closely followed by X-Men the Animated Series.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Get to the point.
Kevin Conroy is going to play old Bruce Wayne in Crisis on the Infinite Earth.
Does that then mean that there's going to be what's the name of the person? Terry
Hatcher?
No.
Terry
Batman Beyond?
Oh, crikey, yeah. I can't remember his surname, but yeah, Batman Beyond.
If it's old Bruce Wayne, surely that stands to reason, right?
Maybe. Would they bring in a Batman Beyond now? That's interesting, Ben. I hadn't thought of that. I just wondered if they were just calling in sort of their list of people, and Kevin Conroy's too old to play a young Bruce Wayne, so maybe they're just... Imagine if he's in the Cowl. Can you imagine Kevin Conroy in the Cowl?
Yes. And
I'm so happy about this.
I just had a shiver over my spine. It was amazing. Why can I not find the details of who plays Batman Beyond? What is going on? I know he's called Terry something. He's called Terry McGinnis.
Yes, he is, yeah.
God's sake.
James, do you have any feeling about Kevin Conroy being cast in...
No, I don't, but all that you guys are pretty excited about it.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
He's the
but
best
what is making me more excited is about this crossover, because it's going to be massive.
Yeah.
This crossover event is going to be huge.
Massive.
Absolutely huge.
Massive.
Have you seen the entertainment exclusive pictures that they've released of all the characters?
No.
The picture of Arrow makes him look like Gendry from Game of Thrones. Look at that. Isn't that
it
Gendry?
does.
If you glance, that would be Gendry.
Yeah.
Sure. With that.
Yeah.
But, so it's the last Arrow, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Is it the last Flash season?
I don't think they've announced that yet.
Okay.
But it's likely to go soon, yeah.
But Batwoman starts, which is new.
And she's in this, yep.
Yeah. And
So-
then we've got DC Legends of Tomorrow. So just to confirm, the crossovers are Supergirl,
Yep.
which I don't watch. Anyone watch?
No, but I'm interested, actually.
Yeah, I'm a little bit interested.
I hear it got really good towards the most recent season.
I've seen a couple, and I thought, okay. Batwoman, yes, that looks great. The Flash, we know where we stand with that.
Yeah.
Arrow, I might be a little bit disappointed with myself now. It is coming to the last season, because I could have just watched last season's, and then I'd have got the badge.
Maybe go out with a bang.
Maybe, and then I don't even want to talk about the other one because I find it so rubbish.
Yeah.
But that's me.
Right, let's talk about something that's going to cause...
Controversy.
Controversy. Easy for you to say.
Hey!
Oh,
you guys,
fist pump,
fist pump in stereo.
That was the international symbol for wanker.
I think I was.
So there was a new trailer out for a Netflix movie.
Yes, a Martin Scorsese Netflix movie.
That's the first interesting point.
Thank you.
Scorsese movie straight to Netflix.
Yes.
Do you think that was by choice? Yeah, see, instinct says no, right?
Yeah, because he's got a good recipe, that boy.
Yep.
But it can be a little bit tiring.
And
Who?
maybe we've
Scorsese?
seen we've seen every single Scorsese move that he can
Yeah,
do, and it looks very similar to
Yes, lots of other things. Yeah. I think Ben is either going to chuck me out of a first floor window in about 5, 4. No, go on, Ben. Sorry.
What's the name of the Scorsese movie?
The Irishman. We haven't actually said that yet.
That's a good point. We've been talking around it. We're dancing around it.
No, but we were.
Yeah.
That was our first point. Was it was a Scorsese? Yeah, I can't say.
Yeah, him. Yeah, easy
I've got
for you to
speech
say.
impediment.
Yeah, you have got a speech impediment
Oh
today.
my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Okay, look, I want to say a couple of things. Number one, it's called The Irishman. Number two, it's a Scorsese film, and I love Scorsese movies.
Number three,
it's got Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, Joe Pesci, Harvey Keitel in it. That is an absolutely up there cast. Unfortunately, though, they seem to have scrimped on the budget when it comes to CGI, because the de-aging in this trailer was the worst.
Yep.
It was dreadful.
Well, they didn't have any budget left after that cast, right?
No, and
Probably not.
Did they just use that face app to make them all look?
I think so. Yeah.
But the other way around.
Yeah.
There's a guy on YouTube. I can't remember the name of the channel. It's something like there's some software you can use to swap people's faces out.
Yeah. Okay.
I can't remember what
swap?
it's called.
Face off.
Yeah.
I'll try and find a clip and link it in the notes below on the podcast. But I've seen him swap Tom Cruise with Patrick Bateman in American Psycho, and it is unnervingly good.
Right.
I've seen him put Bruce Lee as Neo in the dojo fight scene when they're training.
Oh yeah.
When he goes, I know Kung Fu, and Lawrence Fishburne goes, show me. And it was superb. This was a panning shot around from behind him to the side to the front when he was on the phone, sat still. and I wanted to rip my eyes out, blend them, and then drink them.
The problem is that the build-up, like the whole trailer is like, and here he comes, who is it? Here he comes. Oh, it's really bad CGI.
And I feel like the entire effect could have been done better with a bit of makeup.
Yeah, probably.
You know? And a bit of makeup and dyeing his hair.
Not anymore with 4K TVs. You can't do it because you can see the wrinkles in the makeup now.
Well, I can say to you, I can see the lines in that CGI. So if that's the final version of that, it's going to take me out of the film.
It's a bit X-Men 3, isn't it?
Yes.
It's a little bit
Yeah.
Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen with their sort of like Vaseline faces.
Ooh.
You know what I mean?
I don't like a Vaseline face.
No.
His eyes didn't look right. They didn't look like they moved properly. And the whole thing was dreadful. But I really want to watch the film because it's about Jimmy Hoffa and his disappearance and gangsters and the 60s and the unions and all that sort of thing. And I love all that sort of stuff.
But then why couldn't it be Godfather 2 style where you get a younger actor playing him?
Good question, Nathan. No idea.
Because
it's Bob De Niro.
Exactly. But it would have been amazing to do that.
Of course it would have done.
Yeah.
Of course it would have done. If this film was made in 1972, 3, whenever The Godfather Part 2 was made, 74.
72 and 74, yeah.
If it was made then, they would have had a younger actor playing him as a younger person.
Yeah. Well, because he plays young Vito Corleone.
Yes,
which
he does.
is Marlon Brando.
Yes, it is. Yes,
so
correct.
that's the way to do it. So why not?
Yeah, I do know this. I'm just listening.
You were exclaiming with delight,
I
weren't
was
you?
like, what are you talking about?
Oh!
Very good, yeah.
You going to watch this film?
Probably, yeah.
You gonna watch this film?
I will watch it.
You've got Netflix. You can watch it.
I can watch it. I love Netflix.
Have we explained that joke to anyone?
I don't care.
Let's hold on to that one. The trouble is the CGI, because otherwise everyone in the world would be like, this film looks amazing.
Well, and if they've CGI'd Bob De Niro, then they're going to CGI'd other people as well who are interacting with him when he's young. Unless the entire thing when he's younger takes place and he's talking on the phone to people, you never actually see the other side. But if they de-age everyone who stars in the film as an older person later, and it's not that good, it's gonna be dreadful. I mean, some people will be able to watch it and just go, "Oh, it looks fine," but some people on a 4K TV. Where younger person makeup doesn't work, if they see that, they're going to be throwing their TV out the window.
Maybe we're being too harsh on this.
Well, I'm just looking up, and apparently they've Netflix have given Scorsese 140 million to make this.
That's not a small penny.
No.
Yeah.
No. Wow.
Do you know? I think I'm just excited to see Pacino in like a Scorsese-esque role.
I'm excited to see Joe Pesci come back as well. He hasn't been in anything for a little while.
It's Anna Paquin as well, we should say.
Oh, yeah.
She's very good actress, yeah.
She's great. Yeah. Okay, I don't have anything more to say about that. I want to see it. The CGI's made me angry, but I'm still going to see it.
I feel bad that we've ripped it to shreds because I think it's probably going to be amazing.
Of course it will. It's like I said, Scorsese's got a good...
Yeah. He's got a formula.
You know, and we're all going to love it. Yeah. We're going to be wow.
Didn't say when it was coming out, did it? Did it say when it was coming out?
2019.
Yeah, I think it was sort of, didn't they say the fall or something like that in the trailer?
We should watch it all together as we did with I Am Mother.
What a good idea.
Yeah,
what a good idea.
Like ideas today.
It says this fall, yeah.
Yeah, hopefully it gives them enough time to fix what they got wrong.
Fix your face.
They're not going to. Watch my face.
Watch your face.
Yeah, exactly. That's what you were saying. Watch my face.
Yeah, that's another little behind the curtain. No, it's fine.
Okay, fine.
Well, that's the end of Broken News.
Hey, it wasn't very good this week, was it?
It wasn't very good, and there wasn't a lot of it.
Not a good week for news. No, okay.
Oh, well.
NerdScene?
NerdScene.
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 James.
Yes.
So this is a section where we talk about things that we've watched, right? And it's a play on words.
Right.
So... Okay, so well, I've never made anyone walk out of the room before with this, but so it's nerd because we're nerds, and scene as in like I've watched something.
Yes, yeah.
But it's actually spelled SCENE, so it's like you know when a TV show or a play or a film has like sections that are like scenes.
Yeah.
So it's a play on that word because it's the same sounding word, but it's kind of like what we've watched, but also it's having watched something. And we're nerds.
No, don't get it. Can we move on?
I'm not clear, am I?
No, you need to really think about how you're going to explain these things to me. Because
I'm
not a stupid man.
I know you're not.
Sorry.
I saw The Lion King.
Yeah, Hakuna Matata?
This is the new one, yeah.
Yes.
The in air quotes live action one.
Yeah. Okay, so you could call it photorealistic, I think would be the way to call it.
Talk to me about this film, Nathan.
Okay, so you cannot deny the astounding quality of the CGI in this movie. If you showed someone it without sound, this was on the Weekly Planet podcast, and I agree with them. If you showed someone it without sound and out of context, they would think it was just like a David Attenborough, like.
Really?
Animals can talk now?
No, but like the bits when they're just walking around or jumping and stuff, it's genuinely good. Right?
Okay. However,
the first third of the movie is one of the worst things I've ever seen.
Say that again.
One of the worst things I've ever seen.
Wow, first third?
Yes, because, and I stand by this, the voice actor for young Simba is awful.
Oh.
Awful.
Why? What's the matter?
He just everything he says, it's like, it's clearly in a room on his own. He's not interacting with anyone. He's just saying the line like a precocious child, not as opposed to an actor. It's really bad. Then Timon and Pumbaa show up, and the movie turns into a cartoon, and it's really good. It's really fun and interesting, and Timon and Pumbaa are funny, and the action is really good. It's still a little bit disturbing. It's still a little bit like the voices don't quite fit with the lions. Mm-hmm. They don't quite, because they don't.
Who's the voice of Scar?
It's Chiwetel Ejiofor.
Okay.
And I thought he was going to be amazing. I thought he was amazing, but he's not that good.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all right.
It's all right.
Yeah, it's like I say, the second and third parts are good, but the first part is bad.
Okay. What about Donald Glover as adult Simba?
How's that? Yeah, he's all right.
That's okay.
Who's Mufasa?
It's James Earl Jones again. Yeah.
Awesome, I bet he's awesome. Did he sit down and when they looked there and say everything you see, all that sort of stuff? I love that.
It's almost shot for shot.
Yeah,
but the trouble is,
new music though. I hear
a little bit, not much. So like, I Just Can't Wait to Be King. In the animated one, it's like this sort of Art Deco, ultra colourful, jumpy about thing that they bounce off giraffe's head. But because it's trying to be photorealistic in this, it's just sort of them running around a waterhole and diving in and out of each other's legs and stuff, and it's kind of just not as good.
Yeah, well, it's a bit psychedelic, isn't it?
And it's not that.
Well, it's a bit difficult to do that in
real
life.
Exactly.
So is it pointless, Nathan?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I am going to stand solid next to my opinion that I am not interested in Disney live-action remakes, even if they're not live-action, photorealistic remakes. Not for me.
I'm not going to agree with Ben. I'm going to say that if it's a live-action of a cartoon that's not a human cartoon, I think it'd be crap. So Mulan, I'm really looking forward to because I think that'd be awesome.
Oh, actually, I'm looking forward to Mulan as well.
Yeah, that's going to be great.
Thanks. That's what I'm saying.
Can we pause it a second?
Yes.
So, another thing that on my nerd scene is I started reading the Wheel of Time books.
The Wheel of Time, and this is the thing that's going to be turned into a TV show.
Absolutely.
Where women know magic and men are pointless.
Sure, that's a good summary.
Yeah.
It's. I mean, I've read like 2 chapters of it, and it's very good. It's the. I actually Instagrammed a picture, and it's because I got 10 books. The first 10 books.
Oh, I saw that Instagram picture. Yes.
I got the first 10 books for £7 from eBay. From eBay.
Wow.
Yeah, chuffed. I love second-hand books. Love them.
Are they dog-eared? Are they fine?
And they got a little bit of like around the edge, but they're very, very readable.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I've started reading the first one, and it's very good.
Excellent.
It was started being written in the 90s by a guy called Robert Jordan, and it's got like it starts out with all the standard Lord of the Rings fantasy-esque tropes that you would expect, but it's got like a weird prelude. I don't know how you pronounce that. Pre-chapter that kind of sets up this really interesting thing about how time is cyclical and the world ends at the beginning. Like in the pre-chapter, the world completely ends. Like everyone's dead, someone's made a mistake, and this bolt of lightning comes down, and this volcano appears, and loads of people die, and then suddenly the world starts again, and like there's all these like normal people, and there's like farmers, and they live in a village, and it's a bit sort of Hobbiton, but it's human, so it's got a little bit of a Lord of the Rings about it. And yeah, he said he was going to write like 7 books, and he ended up writing 12, one as a prequel as well. passed away sadly, and then Brandon Sanderson picked up from his notes and finished off the series.
Amazing.
So I've got the first 10 to read. I mean, they're huge books. But
How many are there in total?
14, I believe.
Right. Okay.
So I'm really.
And that's the whole thing finished.
Yes, I
All
believe
done.
so. I believe so. So it's really interesting, and I think the TV series will be very good. So I'm very happy.
Well, sorry, James. Did you have something you wanted to say?
Yeah. Which TV is it coming out on?
Amazon, I believe.
Wow. Cool.
They are the streaming service to watch in the next 12 to 18 months, I think.
Invincible animated TV show.
Picard. There was something else that we saw that was on there.
The Boys at the moment, but we'll go on to that in a minute. Thank
you. Jack Ryan.
Mm.
Was on
Oh,
Amazon
yes.
Prime as well.
Yes, that was the other thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, let me take you away from all these things we're looking forward to. All these Amazon Prime shows and all these books that are going to be made to Amazon Prime TV shows and things like that. And let me talk to you about something that was the worst film I've ever seen in my entire life.
Cool.
It was called Girls Trip.
Who's in Girls Trip?
Who is in Girls Trip?
I'm about to tell you.
Thank you, JB. You look that up whilst I tell people how horrible this movie was.
Queen Latifah.
Queen Latifah is in it.
Jada Pinkett Smith.
Jada Pinkett Smith is in it.
You lost me at Queen Latifah, I'll be honest.
Regina Hall. I mean, I'm surprised that Ben even wanted to watch this.
Well, let me tell you how this goes. I don't know how it works in your houses or your flats or whatever, but in my house, we either agree something we want to watch together, or we take in turns choosing something that someone wants to watch.
Right.
So on Saturday night, it was Claire's turn. We couldn't agree with what to watch, so she said, "Oh, okay, well, I'll choose something that's for me. I want to choose Girls Trip. I got it for my birthday this year from her sister, sent down from Darlington's. It was a big thing. Oh my God, it's the worst. It's girls who look the same age, pretty much when they finished high school and went to college, and they've grown up in the noughties and that sort of thing, and now they're like mid-40s. They've always looked the same. They've sort of drifted apart slightly. They come back together for this big thing, and I called how the film was going to go in about the first 5 minutes, because
that must have annoyed her.
It annoyed me. I didn't tell her. I called into it myself.
Well done.
Who was Luke Cage? Mike Colton. Or
Yeah.
He was in it, and I said to myself, he's a wrong'un. And hey,
He was a wrong'un.
he was a wrong'un.
Spoilers.
It's terrible. It's the worst kind of gross out humour I've seen. There's a bit, they go to New Orleans on this girls' trip, and there's a bit where they zip line from one like balcony to another one, and one of them gets stuck. She needs to go to the toilet before she goes. She gets stuck in between, and she urinates on everyone down below. And then her friend, to make her feel better about herself, no, it wasn't. It was Jada Pinkett Smith. And her friend,
What is she doing?
to make her feel better about herself, goes out and urinates on everyone as well. It was fucking dreadful.
Well,
and
He'll,
I sat there
he'll say urinate, but then he'll to not say piss, and then he'll pull out the F gun.
because I cannot tell you how bad this film was, and
Did the missus like it?
She enjoyed bits of it.
So does that mean she's sending it back to Darlington?
No, I don't think she is.
Send to Coventry.
But
Oh,
I
nice.
would.
Very good,
But I don't know if
I-
Darlington's Nick. It's not, is it?
Let's say it is,
Yes.
and not upset our listeners.
No, let's not. Oh yeah.
If I had my way, I'd set this thing on fire. It
Wow.
was that bad.
Okay.
It was terrible.
Well, I can't-
However, from something that was terrible to something that was brilliant.
Is it brilliant? Is it?
Yes, Stranger Things season 3 is the best season of Stranger Things I've seen. It was superb.
Well, it couldn't be much worse than season 2, could it?
Finished it last night, and I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I think you guys would as well.
What's the sort of
What's the message?
Yeah, what's the message? What's the homage that it's doing? If the first one was
It pays homage to the Terminator,
Right.
Back to the Future, Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Okay.
What's the 80s film with Patrick Swayze and the Brat Pack when the Russians invade?
Roadhouse.
No, they remade it. You mean Red Dawn?
Yes, that.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's such a good series. It really was. And the ending is a real gut punch. Real gut punch.
Brilliant. Hashtag spoilers for anyone who hasn't
Yeah,
watched it.
yeah.
I mean, I haven't watched it.
No, I haven't either,
And
yeah.
I was looking forward to it, and now I know that something's going to punch me in the guts.
I'm not looking forward to it. I don't care.
I am.
Hey, listen.
I've never seen it. I haven't even seen season 1 yet.
I think you'd enjoy season 1.
I think I would as well.
I don't think you should watch season 2 without watching Ghostbusters, though.
Well, we've got the agreement on that, so, you know.
Yeah, we have, but that wasn't part of it, so I agree to that now.
Okay, cool.
So I watched Ghostbusters before I watched Stranger Things.
Yes,
Or Stranger Things season 2.
correct.
Okay, fine.
I would like to ask anyone listening to this podcast, if you've seen Stranger Things season 3, to please tweet at Nate_nerdchat and tell him if you think it's good or not.
Oh, that's me.
That is you.
You are Nate.
Just say it's good, or no, it's not good, and he'll work it out what that means for himself.
Okay.
The other thing I read, my last quick thing is I read the first volume of Lock and Key.
I hear it's very good.
Oh my god, it was brilliant. I've already bought volume 2. I'm going to start reading that tomorrow. Superb. Really weird.
It's kind of like a almost sort of fantasy horror, but a bit fun.
Fantasy, supernatural,
Stranger
coming of age.
Stranger Thingsy.
Sort of, yeah, sort of. It's written by Joe Hill, who's the son of Stephen King.
Yes, indeed.
And oh my god, look at a picture of this guy. It looks like you're looking at Stephen King. They are literally sliced. He's like a doppelganger of his dad.
It's the art is it's got this sort of like an ethereal sort of ghostly quality, but a bit fun comic-y as well.
Yeah, it works. It really does work for the source material. The premise is family that have experienced a tragedy move across the United States to a house in Lovecraft, Massachusetts, and it's called Key House, and it's been in their family for a long time, and there's something weird about it, but you don't know what it is, and then some weird things happen, and it's really good. I don't want to go into it because anything I say will spoil it. I think I got into it because I'm sure Chris from the We Have a Hulk podcast said that he'd read it and loved it.
Yes.
I was like, I kind of like quite a few of the same things that Chris likes. I'm going to try this, and it's superb.
Is the town Lovecraft reference to H.P. Lovecraft?
It's not gone into that. The town is literally just called Lovecraft,
okay.
But I'm sure it probably is. Yeah.
H.P. Lovecraft wrote sort of short stories and
monster stuff.
Yeah, he invented a super monster called Cthulhu, which is kind of like,
of course.
Well, Cthulhu is kind of like it's taken on this whole thing of its own, where it's a Lovecraftian monster that was originally intended. It's your worst fear ever,
right.
Yeah, and manifest. And sometimes it's the size of a man, sometimes it's the size of like a mountain, and it's like a water beast with like squid tentacles coming out of its face, but it's also got a man's head, and it's everything you could ever possibly be afraid of.
It's Cthulhu.
It's Cthulhu. So it's a. They were pointing at me. It's me. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
I'm going to call you Cthulhu from now on.
That's fine. But it's So I think let's say Lovecraft wrote these Cthulhu stories or stories where Cthulhu turns up, but it's taken on its life of its own. It's in lots of other fantasy horror and that sort of stuff. So it sounds like it might be.
It's got. I think there's like 6 volumes, and I've read the first one, so right. I've got a ways to go, and I'm getting the second one tomorrow. Joe Hill is heavily influenced by his dad.
Yes.
And his dad crafts these incredible worlds. Obviously, if you've ever read a Stephen King novel, and I don't say that as he's only good because of his dad. He is good. He's taken what his dad has given to him as an author, and he's run with it, and it's just superb. Honestly, it was really, really good.
Are all the Stephen King books in the same universe?
Yes,
I think so.
Yeah, which is weird.
Probably, yeah.
James, you've seen and watched some stuff.
Yep. So after finishing Love Island.
Oh yeah, that was intense. That took up a lot of your life.
That did. We then started looking through our back catalogue of things that we'd recorded onto our box.
Generic recording device.
Box. And so one of them was Big Little Lies, season 2. So absolutely loved the first season. It was brilliant. Mm-hmm. Absolutely brilliant.
Yes, it was.
Great story, all of this sort of jazz. And I was thinking they should have just left it there.
100%.
They probably should.
I watched the first episode of season 2, and I thought they should have left it there. So I couldn't watch it. I stopped watching it.
That's okay.
Because I don't know, it just felt like they were dragging things out. So I don't know what happens.
I've seen all of season 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you think it was okay?
Yes, it's not as good as season 1, definitely, but it is. It's good.
Okay.
It's. If you'd say that Big Little Lies season 1 is like a 9 out of 10, this is more like a 7.5 out of 10, and I think that drop is noticeable. It might only be like a 1.5, but it's a noticeable drop. The acting talent is still really, really good.
Yeah, good cast.
The addition
Great
of
cast.
Meryl Streep as
the mum
of one of the people from season 1, who won't go into the spoilers, she's incredible.
So hang on a minute, you won't go into spoilers of season 1, Big Little Lies, which was last year, but you let a little spoiler out about season 3 of Stranger Things.
Yeah,
season 3 of
What was the
Stranger
spoiler?
Things. Gut punch.
What does that mean?
It means that something's going to knock the wind out of me. And I'm not talking about a wardrobe.
What are you talking about?
Nice. There's a lot of in-jokes in this episode.
Yeah, well, we're in our in-joke apps. So anyway, because I'm not... Oh, Nate, did you want to say something?
No, I also thoroughly enjoyed season 1 on both your recommendation, and saw they were doing season 2. I thought to myself, what a waste of time.
No.
The lady who wrote the novel that the first TV show, the first series is based on, helped out with the story for season 2. But it feels like that she didn't have as much to do with it as maybe you'd like, because it's not as good. It's good. It's a good season, and there are a couple of really standout episodes. I think maybe like the third and the last episode are up there with pushing as good as some of the first season's episodes. But the rest of it is a bit less.
You're my Marge Simpson, not too sure about that.
You know, Mrs. Sunday Movies and Mrs. Sunday Movies do their own podcast now called Suggestible Pod.
I have heard this.
They talked about this on their podcast, and she recommended the book and the TV show, and she said that season 2 was good, but it's not as good as season 1. That is it in a nutshell, basically.
Book was... I'd probably get the book. So whilst my wife was watching Big Little Lies in one room that I didn't want to watch, I went into the other room and started watching The Boys on Amazon Prime.
The Boys?
Yes.
You've told me about this intermittently.
Yes.
You said, I started watching The Boys. And I said, is it good? And you went, it's all right. And then this morning you said, I watched some more of The Boys, and I'm really enjoying it.
It's brilliant.
How many episodes?
What have I watched? I've watched 3, and I think there's 6 in the first season.
Let's say you're right.
I think so, 6 or 7.
Who's going to argue with us?
Everybody. So Amazon Prime have already signed, sealed, and delivered a second season.
There's 9.
9?
Yes, 9.
Oh, wow. So I've missed a whole 3 when I was trying to look through the synopsis.
Yeah.
But it is excellent. It's a very different take on superheroes.
It's based on the book by Garth Ennis, right?
Yes. Do you want me to synopsis it or not? Because
sure,
I know that you're kind of...
I'm interested. So
it's a world of superheroes.
Yes.
Yeah, the public love them.
Yes.
Yeah, but they're all owned by a big corporation, and I've just forgotten that, Vought International, which basically do all their marketing for them. So they look like they're awesome.
But they're not so awesome.
They're a bunch
of scumbags.
They got like fixers or something, right?
Well, yeah. Basically, they've got people scanning police scanners and setting up for the hero, setting up a scene so the heroes can go and sort it out. Okay. So something happens, and basically, there's a vigilante group called the Boys that want to bring these superheroes down because they know they're corrupt. They're basically taking the piss. They're using their powers. You know, when we think about Superman, what would he be like if he was bad? Meet Homelander.
Yeah.
He is exactly that. Homelander is played by a guy called Anthony Starr. He plays Lucas Hood in Banshee, which I watched, which I thought was brilliant.
Oh, was absolutely that the guy brilliant. Who was...
He's basically... what, do you want to know the character in Banshee?
In Banshee, was he the guy who played the sheriff, but he wasn't actually the sheriff?
Yeah, so he's basically a dual thief, and he went into there, and he's hard as nails. So yeah, he's absolutely outstanding as Homelander. Carl Urban is in it. He's brilliant. Cracks me right up. Okay. Jack Quaid as Huey Campbell. Something bad happens to him, but that's why he joins the Boys. He's brilliant.
Now he's talking about spoilers.
I didn't say I couldn't talk about spoilers. But anyway, I'm 3 episodes in, and I'm going on holiday next Wednesday, and I'll be taking my Amazon Prime with me.
Wise.
And watching it.
This is my next thing to watch. I wanted to finish Stranger Things season 3 before I got to this, and I want to watch this. I've heard nothing but good things.
Yep, absolutely outstanding.
Excellent.
Cool.
Excellent.
Yeah. You won't be disappointed if you watch it.
I think I felt that, but I'm glad you've recommended it because that means a lot.
What it's gonna
you condescending prick.
I genuinely meant that.
Oh yeah, right.
What it's going to do is it's going to make me want to go out and get the comic book, and there are probably like about 10 volumes of that, and I'll have to go and buy the lot, and it will cost me a fortune. So I'll
just watch the show.
I'll take my time. I'll take my time.
Right, because James just shat all over my kindness on him. Anything he says about Tarantino movies, we're not going to listen to.
Just to let you know, I've never seen any Tarantino movies.
Fair enough. Okay. Should we talk about some Tarantino movies?
Yes, let's.
Yes, let's. Full spoilers for what we talk about from now on.
So he's released 8 movies so far.
Yeah. So should we say that we're only going to talk about the ones that he considers his?
He's directed.
Yes, but I mean he's directed, like things like. Episodes of ER and episodes
we're talking
of
about
TV
movies.
shows. We're talking about the movies now.
And we're not necessarily talking about the ones the ones he's just written either. This is his directorial theatrical release movies.
Sure. I'm glad you said those words. I couldn't get them out.
Yeah.
I can't even say John Wigsam. I can't even say his name.
No, yeah.
Don't bother doing it again because
So-
you're embarrassing yourself.
So we're doing this because Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is coming out, as we said.
It looks really good.
Yes, I hear good
Yes,
things.
it
I'm looking
does.
forward to it.
Good. It's got a great cast,
Yes, it does have a good cast.
which is a thread, I think.
Yes, Tarantino always he always pulls down a good cast of characters. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
It's a bit like Scorsese, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's got his recipe.
Yep.
He's got his people. He knows how to get the best out of them, and he absolutely smashes it.
So
Correct?
I was watching a YouTube video before you guys came over
Oh,
about how Tarantino, he has claimed this himself, steals from other movies.
Yes.
And he does it on purpose, and there's even, it's even similar to a quote that Picasso said about good artists copy from other artists, great artists steal.
Sure. Okay.
So he's trying to set himself up as a great man there in his own publicity.
Probably, yeah.
But there are like shot for shot theft from other movies, from like French New Wave and like samurai movies and westerns.
Yeah.
And
He knows what he likes and
Yeah.
he uses what he likes.
Yeah.
He worked in a video store for years, didn't he? Basically in LA, and he watched a lot of films and would talk to films about talk to customers of the video store with about the movies that he watched and get recommendations and give recommendations. So he was. I'll be honest with you. I felt like when I was in the 90s and I went to college and did media studies, I felt like, oh my god, I want to be Quentin Tarantino.
You always give me shit about doing media studies, but suddenly
Yeah, but I don't
the
have a
tables
degree.
have turned.
Oh my goodness.
I don't have a degree in film studies.
The
Wow.
whole of this section, James, is that you did media studies then, right? Yeah.
I'm just, hang on a minute. I'm just going to open my bag of comments about this.
But listen,
It's on the table.
when Reservoir Dogs came out and when Pulp Fiction came out, Reservoir Dogs came out and I was in school and we watched it in like 93 and we really shouldn't have watched it, but we got away with it. And when Pulp Fiction came out when I was in college, those films completely changed how I saw film. Completely changed. Because up until then it was Star Wars and it was this and it was that and it was like 80s action films. It was Rocky with Stallone and things like that. And it was Commando with Schwarzenegger. This felt like I was actually seeing cinema for the first time.
Well,
On VHS, of course, in my mate's
yeah.
house.
Well,
But
you mean Betamax when you were when you were at college, weren't you?
we start at Reservoir Dogs.
Jesus. Yes.
A vast amount of Reservoir Dogs is that one warehouse scene.
Yes.
So it's got a real feel about like a stage play because it's in one location. It's these other characters all moving around it. But I think the most memorable stuff about Reservoir Dogs, the best stuff, is the flashbacks. The
non-linear storytelling.
what's the British actor, Mr. Orange?
Tim Roth.
Tim Roth. Thank you.
That's
His transformation into the criminal, where he's the cop.
Yes.
Spoilers.
Yes.
Is fantastic.
Should I feel like I've missed out my little... Because I took the time to copy in words about all the films from IMDb.
Yeah,
Should,
please do.
should I say this?
So, because people haven't seen this.
People might not know what Reservoir Dogs is.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
So I'm going to do... Let's give a gap. And I'm going to say these words, okay? Reservoir Dogs. When a simple jewellery heist goes horribly wrong, the surviving criminals begin to suspect that one of them is a police informant.
Well, he's not just a police informant.
No, he's not just a police informant. He is a police officer.
Indeed.
Yeah. It's a heist film, but you don't see the heist.
Yep.
It's a film where the main characters, and you can say this about pretty much all Quentin Tarantino films, they don't really talk. The conversations they have don't really at the start move the plot along. They're just conversations
Well, it sets
about
the scene.
everyday things.
The opening sequence sets the scene for the whole movie. There's all these criminals who are about to do this heist, who are brutal men, evil men, you might say, who are willing to kill or harm others for their own good, their own good, and they're having a quite in-depth debate about whether they should be tipping the waitress or not.
Yes, I know, it's crazy.
That's the
isn't
whole
it?
thing. That's the whole opening sequence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and the meaning of the song "Like a Virgin" by Madonna.
Yes, indeed. Yeah.
Which apparently doesn't mean what Quentin Tarantino thought it meant. He said it was a song about dick. Apparently, according to Madonna, it was a song about love. So there you go.
I mean, yeah.
Are you saying that Madonna doesn't differentiate between the two?
Do we have to? Do all of us have to?
Yes.
Is it important?
I'm joking.
No.
Doesn't matter.
No, okay.
What it means is there were people sat around a table talking about Madonna and tipping a waitress.
Yes, when actually the film is about a bank heist,
A diamond heist.
a diamond heist, sorry,
Yeah.
and then this this internal police intrigue, criminal world, you know.
Yeah.
It's what I think is what he does very well in all of his films. There are always segments in the film that you just think this is completely off-piste, but it adds so much to it.
That's the non-linear storytelling.
Absolutely.
Well,
And
no, I
it's-
think it's the rich characters, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna. Well, can we jump to the
Yeah,
next?
yeah.
We get about Pulp Fiction when we're talking about the Royale with cheese.
Yeah,
Just to
yeah.
Look at back of the car.
No, we can't jump to the next one. We haven't finished talking about Reservoir Dogs.
Oh wow, sorry.
We've got a whole thing to do, James. About
Oh
the
my
whole
goodness
sections.
me.
No, but it's only because he's done media studies. So he
Yeah, I
has
was
to
going to
have
say,
the
am
structure, so-
am I pissing all over your AS level media studies?
Let's do a quick review of what we think. Reservoir Dogs, we all like.
It's one of the best crime films I've ever seen where you don't see the crime. All you see is the after. You don't see the crime. You don't see the jewellery heist. You see them running away from it.
Yeah.
You see them talking about it before they go and walking down the street all cool.
I'm just trying to think of another film where I don't see the crime.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
You see them running away. There's the scene, one of the most brutal scenes in the film, and it's one of the most brutal scenes I've ever seen on a film, where Mr. Brown has got blood in his eyes, and I think he's been shot in the head, and he sort of dies. And Mr. White is stood there with two guns as a police car turns up, and he fires both clips full into the windscreen of the police car, and the guys are getting peppered with bullets. It is so tough to watch. It's almost as bad, if not worse, because it feels more realistic, as the RoboCop scene where Murphy gets shot.
It's a shot-for-shot copy of the film I can't remember the name of, but which Reservoir Dogs takes all of its cues from.
I'm sure it does. Yeah,
You
sure
can see it on YouTube if you look up comparisons of Quentin Tarantino's movies he stole from. But yeah, it is. Yeah,
it's brutal.
I think the best scene is the scene in the toilet, where it's not even a real scene. Where
Is that the one where he's telling the story about
Tim
the
Roth
cops and the marijuana?
is telling a story,
Yeah.
not only to his handler, but also then through time to his people he's going to end up working with, the criminals, about a fictional time where he's carrying drugs and is in a urinal, and police come in with a dog, and he's washing his hands, and he presses his finger on the hand dryer, and it's that loud background noise. It's the best scene because it's not even real.
Yeah.
But that's tense,
But,
and that's tense, and then the next layer is tense because he's trying to convince them, and the next layer is tense because he's trying to convince himself, and then you realise the depth of how that character is like in his own flat, and then like you see him like close the door and like walk away.
Yeah, and he builds it up like layer upon layer upon layer.
Absolutely
good.
brilliant. It's a beautiful scene.
It is brilliant. What's your favourite scene from Reservoir Dogs, James?
Do you know what? I don't really have a favourite scene. Nothing stands out. I just really enjoyed the whole movie. It was
Right.
like Tarantino just going, "There's my cards. If you don't like it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
walk away."
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah,
I'm not gonna. I'm not calling anyone's bluff. This is what I've got.
Yeah.
So I just was kind of like, I guess against the. I think you mentioned, Ben, against the time, it's completely different. You don't really, you don't really see that storytelling. So. At the end of the day, it's one of my favourites.
I like the Mexican standoff at the end because for a long time there were I think it was like on bumper stickers and it became on T-shirts, "Who shot Nice Guy Eddie?" Because Joe walks in and points a gun at Mr. Orange who's lying on the floor with a gut shot. Mr. White then points a gun at Joe, and then Nice Guy Eddie points a gun at Mr. White, and they're all pointing guns at each other, and then it just goes. Joe shoots Mr. Orange. Mr. White shoots Joe. Nice Guy Eddie shoots Mr. White, and then as he gets shot, Mr. White turns, shoots Nice Guy Eddie, and falls down. But it happens so quickly that everyone's like, "Well, who shot Nice Guy Eddie? Who actually shot
But
Nice
isn't
Guy
it
Eddie?"
Mr. White can move quickly?
Mr. White killed them both. Yeah. And I don't know if you caught this, but links into some more of Quentin Tarantino's writing. There's a question asked of Mr. White where someone asks, I think it's Joe, asked, "How's Alabama?"
Right.
And he says, "Oh, I haven't seen Bama in years." Alabama is Clarence's wife in True Romance.
I haven't seen True Romance.
Both written by Quentin Tarantino. You've not seen True Romance?
No. Isn't it a copy of Badlands?
Probably, yeah. 'Cause it was written by Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah.
And it's even got music from Badlands. Yeah, it's directed by Tony Scott. It's great.
Yeah.
But that's a little tie-in to Quentin Tarantino's universe of films. There you go.
So the next movie on the list,
Sure.
Pulp Fiction. Do you want to give us a little blurb?
Pulp Fiction. The lives of two mob hitmen, a boxer, a gangster and his wife, and a pair of diner bandits intertwine in 4 tales of violence and redemption.
So this is the quintessential Quentin Tarantino film, right? This is the one where people go, "Oh, Tarantino did Pulp Fiction."
Yep.
Because it's so stylized. It's so the intercutting timelines. There's so much more than Reservoir Dogs, and it's not gone to that level of what I would call like turned up to 11. You know, that sort of like over the topness, which we get to a little later on.
Yep.
It's not there yet. It's still almost serious.
Yep.
Even when they're standing around in like board shorts and a t-shirt.
Look like a couple of dorks.
Yeah, and that's funny, but it hasn't gone that far yet. So this is the movie where everyone was like, Quentin Tarantino. Yeah.
This is what a Quentin Tarantino film is.
Yeah. Like Reservoir Dogs, he's like you say, he's put his cards on the table, and then the Weinstein company have turned around and said, "All right, cool, here's some money.
Yeah.
Make something."
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, the Weinsteins are an evil empire, but I think it was Miramax at the time. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. But
they were still in charge.
Harvey Weinstein was very much involved.
Yeah. Ugh, what a shame.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's talk about Pulp Fiction. Again, this film just changed it all up. If Reservoir Dogs made me see it differently, this film made me see it even more differently. It just became. It was my favourite film. The second I saw it, it became my favourite film of the time. It was just like I can now, even now, 20-something years later, I can sit there and watch it from wherever it is, all the way through from start to finish, or from wherever it is to the finish.
Question to you both.
Uh-oh.
Have either of you seen, and I haven't, but have you seen a version of it edited together so that it's...
In chronological order?
Yeah, in chronological order, yeah.
No, I haven't.
No.
I wonder if that makes it not a good movie, or less of a good movie.
Why would we ask that question, though? Because we're talking about the film that we have got, which is a great film, right?
So, but what I'm asking is the editing of the movie crucial to it being a great movie?
Maybe.
Because there are like elements where, like, spoilers, John Travolta gets gunned down.
Yes.
But then he's in it later on.
Yeah.
Yes.
So there's a bit like, oh, there's John Travolta again. That's okay. I feel good now.
Yeah.
Is it Vince?
Yes.
It's the other one.
It's either Vince or Vic. I think it's Vince.
I think it's Vince.
I think Michael Madsen is Vic.
Yeah, they're brothers, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wonder if that has some plays some
There's
part.
probably something in that. Yeah. I mean, again, this is a film that starts. You talked about that book that starts weirdly at the end of time. This film starts in the final act, basically.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
There's a that video that I sent you guys earlier on today.
Yes.
There is in the start where Honey Bunny and Pumpkin are talking about starting the robbery, and then they start it in freeze frames. During that scene, you see Vince Vega walk off to the toilet right on cue, just after he shouts "Garçon coffee," where he gets up later in the film and says,
"Right, yeah,
I'm going to take a shit to be continued." So it's just I only noticed that when I saw that video today. I was like, I saw this film 27 years ago, and I'd never seen that bit before.
And that's what I'm saying. Is this movie good? So are you right with the rapper in the corner there? that's a I didn't know what I was doing face, isn't it?
It's okay.
Is this movie?
Also,
Yes.
Pulp Fiction is what put Quentin Tarantino on the map because he won the Palme d'Or in 1994 with Pulp Fiction.
He did.
Anyone didn't hear that?
Yeah.
Quentin Tarantino won the Palme d'Or in 1994 for Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
So
in Cannes.
Is this movie good because of that clever editing?
Good.
It is clever.
Yes.
And that's very clever.
Good,
I think, well, put it out there. Has any film been like that before its time?
The non-linear sort of storytelling to the max that this one is.
Yeah. I mean, it darts you all around. It keeps you thinking.
Yeah.
Like you said, John Travolta gets gunned down, and all of a sudden you see him again. You're like, did something happen?
Yeah.
Did he survive that? How
Well,
did he
the way
survive
the
that?
timelines interweave and the stories cut across each other, and then one story links into another story. It's the way it's just so perfectly pulled apart, put back together, and reconstructed. It's just incredible.
And I would say that not many films have attempted it. I mean, you've got things like Memento, and you've got things like Dunkirk. They've done some interesting things with time.
Mm-hmm.
But because they haven't been done too much, they still feel fresh. Even after 25 years, that still feels like a fresh idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just interesting that he would do this. I mean, I know he's done it with Reservoir Dogs as well, but he's done this, and and it keeps you guessing because we're aware of the language of cinema, but he's mixed it up.
Yes.
And that's why it's clever.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. What's your favourite Pulp Fiction scene? Or story? Maybe not, if not scene, story from Pulp Fiction.
So I like the two hitmen.
Mm-hmm. They're
Yeah.
funny.
I like their car, like all their stuff at the beginning. I
Royal
like Royal Cheese.
Yeah.
I like the
Foot
jokes around the
massage.
foot massage. I don't really like Mia Wallace. I don't like her in that. I like it when it's Samuel Jackson and John Travolta playing off each other.
Sure, okay, yeah, fine.
So the diner scene's quite good. I'm not a massive fan of Uma Thurman, so that's probably.
Oh
Oh,
dear.
no.
That's a bit revealing for in a minute, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
How about you guys?
You want to go first, Jamie?
Yeah, I think I'll go for the iconic scene when they break into the apartment and Samuel Jackson and John Travolta just basically scare the living bejeebus out of those kids.
Oh yeah, they shoot the place
That's
up.
what I mean.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Their play off against each other is really good. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I like the fact in that scene that you never know what's in the briefcase.
Yeah,
Ever.
that's part of it, right?
Is it Marcellus Wallace's soul?
No.
Is it gold?
No.
Is it something?
It's a light bulb.
It's a light bulb
But,
in a
and that's fine.
briefcase,
But that's
yeah,
the point.
but-
That's what he's doing there. He's doing the psycho thing. That's the MacGuffin.
Yes. It's a MacGuffin. Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter
Yeah.
what it is. It's the thing that drives them to be in that situation.
Absolutely.
Drives them to have the guy in the back of the car whose head gets blown off, who then they have to clean up, which is why they're in the board shorts, which is why they go to the diner, and then they've got that scene there.
That's
the
my
point.
favourite scene. When they accidentally shoot Marvin in the face when he drives over a bump or something.
Yeah.
And then they go and they clean up the car and the wolf turns up and he's curt with them because time is of the essence and all that sort of thing. I just love that. I absolutely love that.
Best Tarantino cameo in all of his movies, in Pulp Fiction.
Yes.
When he's just an annoyed dude.
Yeah.
He's just like, it's like, you come here, I'm like having my breakfast,
Yeah.
and you put blood in my like bathroom.
Yes.
Like, stop.
Yeah.
Just stop.
Absolutely. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Should we go on?
Yes, let's go on. Yeah.
Jackie Brown. Okay, here we go. A middle-aged woman. I find that a little bit of a... It's not really fair to her, really. But anyway, a middle-aged woman finds herself in the middle of a huge conflict that will either make her a profit or cost her life. So what's different about Jackie Brown to the other two films he did, Nate?
He didn't write it.
Correct. Well, he wrote the screenplay, but it's based on an Elmore Leonard novel. That's right, yeah.
This is my favourite Tarantino movie.
Is it Rum Punch? It is Rum Punch.
Yeah, controversial.
I didn't
Sorry.
like this.
Sorry, that's
That's
my.
not- that's not fine, it's not a problem.
We talked about this on WhatsApp, and I said controversial. And you were
Yeah,
like,
it's
oh,
fine.
so,
I
yeah.
didn't.
I knew this was going to be your favourite film.
Love it.
Did you watch that clip that
I did.
YouTube
I did.
video
Yeah.
I sent you earlier on?
Yeah, it was good.
How great was that?
Yeah.
So I sent Nate a clip, and again I will link it in the description of the podcast here, which was the heist scene in Jackie Brown. I say heist; it's not much of a heist, really. It's
a swap.
It's a money swap out,
Yeah,
isn't
yeah.
it? And it's when it happens in the film, you see it from 3 angles, and it's all those 3 angles playing at the same time. It's superb.
Yeah.
Absolutely superb. Why do you like this film the most, then, Nate?
Honestly,
Yes,
Robert Forster is amazing.
Robert Forster is amazing.
I
Yeah.
just every time he's on the screen, I'm just like, this guy's great. Like,
Yeah.
why have I not seen this guy in more movies?
Robert
This is-
Forster plays the bail bondsman Max Cherry in the film.
Yep.
Yeah, and his relationship with Jackie is just lovely. It's so understated.
Yeah, and honest.
Yeah.
And it's probably one of the only things in the film that doesn't feel corrupted in some way by the crime lives that they all run.
And I love Pam Grier in it, and I think De Niro is playing a right douchebag, and it's interesting to see him do that. And
Oh, is he playing a douchebag? There's nothing to the guy.
no, he's this criminal, right? He's come out of jail, so he's obviously
Yeah.
done some bad stuff, and then he just kills Bridget Fonda in the parking lot.
Because he cannot deal with the stress of the situation
Yes,
he's in.
absolutely. Well,
Yeah.
her. I mean, I think it's her that's causing it, right?
Well, yeah, sure, that's true. Yeah, she deliberately tries to wind him up at every single occasion.
Yeah.
I love it.
and
Great.
we all know a Bridget Fonda, right? In that scene, we all know her. Just shut up.
Yes, for me,
And we all want to be Robert De Niro in that scene.
Male or female?
yeah.
yeah, for me, that person's called James. I'm joking, James. I love you.
Well, you want to shoot me in the face?
No, of course I wouldn't.
Wow.
Actually, one thing that I hadn't realised about that is how quickly that happens when she's winding him up in the car park. I could have sworn that scene lasted longer than it did.
Well, she's winding him up every single time he meets her. He's just he's locked in a house with her, isn't he?
Yes. Yeah.
And so she's just this infuriating young girl, and he's like an older man, and she's just into stuff he's not interested in, and it's just like, why is she
so
talking?
much she can take.
Yeah, why is she still talking?
But their relationship isn't like that, because Skips the End talks about this, because they did a review of this film recently, the rewatch on this film. Their relationship is actually quite nice up until the point where they have sex. Where she's talking about that picture on the wall where she's in Japan.
Yeah.
And they're talking about it, and he's like, "Oh yeah, that's good." And then she sort of literally just turns to him, and there's not a beat, and she says, "Want to fuck?" He's like, "Yeah, okay, yeah." And then 3 minutes later, he finishes, and then after that, their relationship just collapses into she just annoys the living crap out of him. Now that is interesting, if you ask me.
I think it was before that. I think the whole thing is he's dumbfounded by the whole thing because he's been locked away for so long, and he's come back and he's just like, what's going on? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just a really interesting little wrinkle in the movie that goes to it. I really like this movie. I think Pam Grier's brilliant.
What's his face is in it. I'm trying to remember his name. He played Batman.
Michael Keaton.
He is Michael Keaton.
Plays against type in this as well. He's a bit of a jerk.
Yes, he is. He played the same role in Out of Sight.
Oh, which is also another of my favourites.
Is it also based on Elmore Leonard novel?
I believe it is, yeah.
Maybe.
I'm a big fan of that movie.
Plays Ray Nicolette, and he reprised the role. This one came out in 97. I think that came out in 98 or 99.
I can't remember. Is it Jackie Brown or is it Out of Sight where they ask him about the cap?
The FBI cap.
Yeah.
Undercover, are you? Or something like that.
Yeah, he's got a cap that says FBI, and he says, "Let me ask you, do you ever wear one that says undercover?" And genuinely, Michael Keaton pauses and goes, "No."
I think that's Out of Sight.
Yeah.
I think that's Out of Sight. Yeah. For me, my favourite part of this film, we've talked about it, is the money swap out, and seeing that video today where you see all three of the perspectives of that scene playing out at the same time. Superb. It's so well done.
But JB, you didn't like this movie?
I don't really remember it. So that's the reason why I don't think I liked it. I've definitely watched it, but none of it really sunk in.
I wonder if you watched it now, you might review your opinion. I think you might enjoy it more.
Yeah.
We should watch it together one time.
I've had enough time with you guys.
Fair enough.
Fair, yeah, good point, yeah.
Okay. Shall we move on?
Let's.
Next up, we have Kill Bill. Now, I think we just talk about this as one whole film, right? Because Tarantino considers this one movie.
Sure. Okay.
He doesn't consider it two movies.
Yeah, he had to split it up.
Sure.
Surely.
So, Kill Bill, Volume 1 and 2. The bride must kill her ex-boss and lover, Bill, who betrayed her at her wedding ceremony, shot her in the head, and took away her unborn daughter. But first, she must make the other 4 members of the Deadly Viper assassination squad suffer. Go for it, Nate.
I like the second one more than the first one.
And you don't like much of them because they've both got Uma Thurman in.
Yeah, I don't.
You don't like.
No, she's alright in this. She's pretty good in this. I'm not a massive fan of her generally speaking, but she's pretty good in this.
She is an absolute goddess in these movies.
This is where I think the movies tip over slightly.
Go on.
So before we were talking about how they were like stylish and classy and that pastiche and stealing from other movies, and they had a real class, I suppose is the word. They had that real sort of edge. I think this is where it becomes cartoony. And
I have a theory about this, but I'll let you finish.
And I know what he's doing, because his previous 3 movies have been versions of other movies that have come in the past. Those sort of crime noir, and then apparently Pulp Fiction is French New Wave, and then Jackie Brown is those sort of blaxploitation type 70s crime films.
Yes.
And these are samurai movies and westerns.
Yes.
And
Volume 1 is a kung fu film, a samurai film, kung fu film, what have you. Volume 2 is a western.
Yeah.
And you can see that in the scores for both volumes are so vastly different. It's unbelievable.
I just think that they're over the top.
Okay, so this is where my theory comes into play.
Okay. I'm interested.
Quentin Tarantino's universe of films has a universe within it. So, the guys in Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction and Jackie Brown are a mirror of our universe in Quentin Tarantino's universe. Okay, so they they go to coffee shops and they talk about not tipping waitresses. They go to coffee shops and they foil robberies and then they walk out looking like badasses.
So they're real life, right?
Yeah, they're real life. They're Quentin Tarantino's version of real life.
Yeah.
Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2 is what those guys would watch when they go to the cinema.
Well, Mia Wallace in Pulp Fiction talks about a pilot TV show where she was in, where she plays a certain character and there is all these other characters, and it is all the characters from Kill Bill.
Is it really?
Genuinely.
Yes,
wow.
yes,
That's
I
true.
believe it is.
And it is the Deadly Viper Assassination Squad.
Yeah. So,
It's
Kill
that's
Bill...
tight though, and it's good, don't you
It
think?
is good, but when you watch it, it is like, oh, this is like a superhero movie.
You wonder of how much of it did he mean that, or how much of it did he shoehorn into it just to make sense, or maybe he did actually mean it because the way Tarantino writes, he writes his movies like a novel, basically. You know. So I really like Kill Bill Volume 1. I enjoy Volume 2, but taken as a whole, I think they're good but dated now. I think they're going to make a Volume 3. Did you know that?
I've heard rumours, yeah.
So in the first time you've seen her go up against one of the Deadly Viper Assassination Squad, it's the woman whose name I cannot remember right now, which is really, really annoying
Lucy
me.
Liu.
No, apparently, see, this is the non-linear storytelling again. She's already crossed out Oren Ishii off of her list at this point. I think she's up against Cottonmouth now, is
Daryl
it?
Hannah.
No.
Oh, come on.
Vivica A. Fox, I think it is, isn't
Vivica Fox, yeah.
Oh, for God's sake.
Daryl Hannah's in Volume 2.
Shit.
Anyway, she goes to her suburban home and they have a massive fight around the house, and then Cottonmouth, Vivica Fox's daughter, comes home from school. And they cease hostilities. They try and have a conversation, and then it starts up again. And then Uma Thurman throws a knife through Cottonmouth's chest, and then the daughter comes in and says, "Look, your mum had it coming. You might feel sore about this. If you want to come and visit me, when you're older, I'll be waiting." Volume 3 is going to be that kid turning up.
Because we're like 20 years now, right? Or something ridiculous like that.
Sure. This film...
2003.
First one came out in 2000. Oh, there you go. Yeah, well, not quite 20 years, but getting there.
That's 16 years ago, so...
Sure. I really enjoy Kill Bill, but it is... Yes, it's silly. It's got all the... 70s style, over-the-top kung fu action.
That makes me chuckle.
What?
The over the top.
Yeah.
I just like it when they're just like, they do something and it's like, the camera pulls in. I just think that's funny.
Yeah, but that's like a Bruce Lee movie,
Yeah,
right? Which
absolutely.
is why she's wearing the yellow jumpsuit.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Yeah.
And I get it.
I didn't think you wouldn't get it because you're an intelligent man and you did media studies.
I did do media studies. You're not wrong. Yeah. But what do you think about it then? What do you like it? Do you enjoy Kill Bill 1 and 2?
I did enjoy it, and like I said, I think all of those homage bits just made me chuckle. I just thought it was completely over the top. It was like extrovert. It was like what you would call dial up to 11, 12,
Yes,
13.
exactly. Yeah.
But it was funny, and I like that.
And it's not by accident, right?
And I can't remember what the master's called when he's just fiddling with his beard.
Jaime.
Yeah, it's brilliant. I'm fan.
He's supposed to be like 1,000 years old or something. Yeah.
And we haven't talked about the cast of the other films too much, but the cast of this is, again, the cast is an homage. Because Bill is David Carradine, who it was in Kung Fu, the TV show.
He was in Kung Fu,
He's the young learner in Kung Fu.
Do you know who was supposed to have that part?
Who's that?
Bruce Lee.
Well, I never did.
Yeah.
Wow.
They gave it to an American instead. There you go.
Yeah.
I very much enjoy Kill Bill Volume 1, as I've said. I think the over-the-top violence, like the sword fight against the Crazy 88, when she's cutting off limbs and there's blood splattering everywhere. The way it flips when she grabs that guy's eye out, it goes to black and white to disguise how violent it was.
Yeah.
So I think the BBFC were going to no, you got to cut all this. So Tarantino made it black and white to hide all the red, and it made it a little bit easier for them to portray.
Easier on the palate.
Yes, possibly. Yes. Yeah, I didn't have to make so many cuts. Pun not intended, actually.
Yeah.
Is this where he was given free reign?
I think so. He'd been away for a couple of years because Jackie Brown was 97 and this one came out in 2003.
6 years
or
ago,
4.
right? Yeah,
Was
3.
it 3?
Yeah.
So yeah, he had a couple of years away, and I think he was like, well, I don't really know what I want to do. I've been accused of, contributing to violence in real world after people watch my films, and if people think I'm violent in the past, well, let me show them how really violent I can be.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think it was all done over the top. It was all done tongue in cheek, but it works for the films that they are. I think it works.
Yeah.
I love that Pai Mei taught Uma Thurman's character the 5-point exploding heart palm technique, whatever it's called. I've butchered that completely.
And that's straight out of something from those kung fu movies of the 70s or even before. That's something straight out of it. Like this some complete nonsense, incredible move that only a Shaolin monk could do. You know, some.
But I also taught this blonde-haired American girl how to do it as well.
I really like the Western stuff in Volume 2, and I feel like I'm the only person on the planet that seems to like that. But
no, I do
when
enjoy
she
Volume
goes
2.
to get Buck from the caravan and
Bud,
and
Buck is in the start of Volume 1.
Sorry, yes.
My name is Buck,
yes,
and I like to...
Yes. That's where she gets the big truck from.
That's right, yeah.
I like
Do you
all
remember
that.
the name of the truck?
Pussy Wagon.
Pussy Wagon.
Yeah, thank you.
Nice.
The thing is, when this came out, I was quite heavily into sort of spaghetti western movies. So Ennio Morricone's music was quite rich in my world, and so then this copied that music, or he might have even come back to do some score. I think.
Don't think he was involved in this. I think Tarantino wanted him to be, but I don't think he could spare the time. It was definitely involved later, and it was heavily influenced by Morricone.
Yeah. So all that sort of stuff, I was like, this is everything I love. So 2 came out, and then people didn't like it, and I was like, I'll keep my mouth shut then because I liked it.
No, I think 2 is a good film.
I
prefer Volume 1, but I do think 2 is a good film.
But 2's maybe 2 is not quite as over the top.
The drag out, beat down, hair pulling, crotch kicking fight
Daryl Hannah
and Uma Thurman have in the trailer is absolutely brilliant.
Well,
and it's got some of the best use of music as well. Both of those films use music superbly.
Well, that's his thing, right? That's one of his things.
When they're facing off, and it's that dun 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 dun. It's absolutely brilliant.
That's the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yeah,
right. The good, bad, and the ugly.
The
shootout, which is obviously in Reservoir Dogs as well. That whole shootout only works because it's like this 5 minutes of just music and them just standing there staring at each other, and shots of their eyes and then their hands and the distance between them and their feet and then their eyes again. It's all that, and that's the scene in the trailer.
So gross, by the way, when she plucks out Daryl Hannah's eye and then steps on it between her toes. And by the way, what is it with Quentin Tarantino's obsession with feet? Does anyone else share a foot obsession?
I don't like feet.
I'm not a big fan.
No,
I got toes that are a bit like fingers. It weirds me out. My own feet weird me out a little bit.
What
are you like?
Yeah, look,
beasts from the
I'll show you later. But they're quite long. My toes. It's really odd.
Does that mean you're
okay? He's a mutant.
Can you use your feet to like with a knife and fork then?
Yeah.
Shut up.
Okay, let's move on, shall we?
Yep.
Death Proof.
I'm tapping out. I don't even know what this is. I've never heard of it. Never seen it.
I've never seen it either.
Oh.
Well, this is all going to be on me. 2 separate sets of voluptuous women are stalked at different times by a scarred stuntman who uses his death-proof car to execute his murderous plans. Right. So you've not seen this film?
No, I think I saw the trailer and thought it looked dumb, but apparently it's all right.
It's all right is about right. It's not very long. It was done as a 2-parter with Robert Rodriguez for their Grindhouse experiment.
Because they're best buddies, right?
Yeah, I think they were at this time. Rodriguez made Planet Terror.
That's right.
And Quentin Tarantino did a little bit in that. Starred. He played a nasty person in that. And then, they sort of flipped over and he did Death Proof. So Death Proof, the story is, Stuntman Mike, played by Kurt Russell, has a real problem with women. So what he does is he takes his tricked out death-proof car that is death-proof. Like, no one can die in this car because it's so safe. It's got like
roll cages and
this sort of thing. He's still in pain if he has a crash, but he'll live. He uses his car to kill people, basically. And he kills women that he has a problem with. And he seems to have a problem with all women. That's kind of it.
It doesn't feel very Tarantino.
I think it's probably my least favourite of his movies.
It's about the women fighting back and being amazing.
Sure, that's how it ends. But the premise is that Stuntman Mike is out to kill people, basically, and he uses his car to do it. Yes, women do fight back at the end.
That feels like
The main part.
The main.
I'm sorry, who is this person?
No, wait, but that feels like the main Tarantino part because he's very much about strong females in his
very
stories.
much so, yeah, absolutely.
And has become that way.
But the main premise of the film is this guy wants to kill people and uses his car to do it. He uses his death-proof car to do it.
But he's the villain, right?
Yes, he is very much so the villain.
So the heroes are the heroines.
Yes. So I think he might kill Rose McGowan first of all. Probably got that completely wrong. Then he kills a whole other bunch of people after they are. He's sort of flirting around with them in a bar, and then I can't quite remember how the last group works out, but they basically fight back. One of the women is holding on to the bonnet or the hood of his car, as an American
would say. Yeah, I've seen the trailer.
And she's like an Australian stunt woman, and she's absolutely brilliant. I think she was Uma Thurman's body double actually in Kill Bill. But basically, at the end, they incapacitate this guy, and they beat him at the end by beating the living snot out of him in a circle. So he's like a ping pong ball going from one woman to the other, where they're literally just beating him with their fists. Which is it's
doesn't sound good.
Doesn't sound good, does it?
It's not my favourite Tarantino film. It's my least favourite Tarantino film. But what I can say is the music interactions. Sorry, I just hit the microphone there. The music interactions in the film are fantastic. The discussions they have about nothing reel you in, and you want to be involved, and you're listening to them.
Very Reservoir Dogs, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So is this in his in real life world, or is this in his movie world?
I'd say this is in his movie world.
Right.
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
So, should we move on to the next one?
Sure. There's not a lot more to say about that.
Yeah.
I'm probably not going to see it. Are you?
I'm definitely not going to see it.
No.
Ben's good at describing it. It just doesn't seem interesting to me.
Can I just add something else?
Yes, just give me a
please
microphone
do,
whilst you do. Hang on. There we go.
Yeah.
Ben's described it as being from the point of view of the male character.
That's what I was trying to get at. Yeah.
It starts off as being...
Ben is a man, of course. Sorry.
It starts off as being... Well, I watched it years ago, so I can't really remember, but it starts off as being from the perspective of these three women in a car who are having this conversation.
That's
and
right.
It's about their night out, which he comes and infiltrates.
Yes.
So you were very much like, there's the premise of the film is there's this man and he wants to kill people with his car, and he does this and he does that, and the first person he kills is... But it's when you're watching it, you're actually watching three girls on a night out. One woman is a radio host. She's put out this kind of...
You remember it much more than I do. Sorry.
She's put out this call to people saying, if you come up to us in this particular bar and say these words, then my friend, I think it's her friend's birthday, she'll give you a lap dance. So this whole scene where this woman gives the lap dance, which isn't sort of like a slutty kind of stripper lap dance.
No, all her clothes remain on at all times.
Yeah, she's in like a t-shirt and shorts, but it's like quite a cool scene because it's sort of empowering that she's sort of doing this dance, but she's not naked, and then the car stuff happens after that, and the reason why the women end up in this kind of interaction with the cars with this man is that they've gone to buy this kind of vintage car from this person who's like selling it in the newspaper or on Gumtree or some equivalent kind of
Craigslist or something.
Yeah. And they have this hobby of hiring these vintage cars and getting one of them to sort of chain themselves to the front windscreen and driving down these really long roads with one of them chained to the windscreen as sort of like an adrenaline rush.
Right, adrenaline rush.
That's
like
the second group of women, not the first group that he bumps into in the bar.
Oh, okay. So I'm merging two groups of women together. Okay. Oh, so he kills the one that the
one who gives him the lap dance. Yeah, I think she might lose a leg. Actually, the first crash is really not nice to watch. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'll take it away from you.
No, it's fine. This is like just this. I literally watched it years ago, so it's very hazy.
Yeah.
But I think that kind of the second group, they have this kind of very daredevil, fearless, adrenaline junkie kind of vibe. So when he starts to mess with them, they mess right back,
yeah.
Which kind of is a good comeuppance for what he did to the first group of women. And I think that there's more, when you kind of describe it from the female's point of view, there's more intrigue there than just being like, oh, there's this man killing women. And there's...
Perhaps I didn't give it its due.
I'm still probably not going to see it, but
That's
I think
fine.
I appreciate the greater depth of understanding of the movie.
Sure, maybe I saw it a long time ago and didn't pay as much attention as this random person who just walked up to us.
Who
and
is
talked
this
to-
random person?
No idea.
Yeah.
No idea at all.
Yeah.
But of the Quentin Tarantino films that had come and all that have come since, this is my least favourite. Let's move on.
Moving on.
Inglorious Basterds. In Nazi-occupied France during World War II, a plan to assassinate Nazi leaders by a group of Jewish US soldiers coincides with a theatre owner's vengeful plans for the same.
You didn't like this, did you?
Not really. It's fine.
Yeah.
However,
I can't put my finger on it. It's weird because it's not. It's like trying to be historically accurate, sort of, and then suddenly not. I mean,
this again is Tarantino's movie universe. It's not his real life
Yeah,
universe.
yeah.
This is the World War II film that his characters in Reservoir Dogs would watch.
James, tell me about this movie because you straight away you pulled something out there. Tell me what you thought of this movie.
Well, I personally loved it, but the big thing for me was, and I'm going to say his name wrong. Is it Christoph Waltz?
Yeah,
No,
that's
you've
right.
nailed
Yeah,
his
you
name.
nailed it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
brilliant. He stole the show for me.
100%.
I am eternally grateful that he was cast as Hans Landa in this movie.
His performance of
The
the
Jew Hunter.
character was
SS Colonel Hans Landa.
was brilliant. And I was genuinely scared. You know where he goes into the
house at the beginning,
right,
yeah.
and
The
you're
milk farm,
just
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh my god.
That conversation
It's
is
put
so
me-
tense.
Oh wow, there it is. Put my hairs on end. It's just
It's
phenomenal.
brilliant. It's brilliant. It starts
Absolutely
off
phenomenal.
really nice and affable, and really friendly. Hello, can I have a glass of milk?
It feels like you're like he's an all right type of guy. He's there. I know what we
You
obviously
shouldn't
know what
feel
the
that.
we know what the story is here.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
we don't need to elaborate on it. But you just think to yourself, all right, he's probably just going to take him off,
Yeah.
and they're going to go to a camp. That's fine.
Well, probably not fine, but sure.
But you
yeah,
know what I
okay.
mean in
Yeah,
the
yeah,
grand
yeah,
scheme of what the story is about.
Yeah. Okay.
And no, that doesn't happen.
No.
And you just
It's
like
brutal.
It is. It's sort of take your breath away. It's that. Is he going to do it? Is he not going to do it? No, he's not going to. Oh, he's done it.
You sort of see how the guy has become, how the character has become the feared person that he is, because he can just turn like that from I'm friendly, I'm being
He's psychotic.
convivial and nice to absolutely to now I have to get to my mission, and my mission is to murder Jews. Basically, that is the guy's mission in the film.
He's a highly intelligent character that can then just turn on a sixpence and then just like that, boom.
Yeah.
There you go. You're in trouble now.
That scene. Oh, sorry, Nick. Go
No,
ahead.
I was going to say that all of that stuff is the best stuff about this movie, and I think that my problem with it is like the theatre stuff later on.
Oh, yeah.
And Brad Pitt's stuff in the movie is over the top, and
he's so good, don't you think?
What's the name of the his sort of second in command who does horror movies and stuff? I can't remember the actor's name.
The Bear Jew. I know what you mean.
Eli Roth. Yeah. Who's very intense and very good at playing that intense character. But that whole stuff about them, scarring them with the Nazi symbol, all that stuff is over the top for me. All the theatre stuff, gunning them down, the fire,
Killing all the
Yeah.
killing Hitler and
Yeah.
Goebbels and
I think what James has said there is spot on. Where this movie completely soars is those tense scenes.
Yeah.
That scene at the beginning, the scene with Michael Fassbender in the bar.
La Louisiane. Oh my
Yeah.
god, that's brilliant.
But they're the scenes for me.
Yeah, because this is some of this Hitchcock stuff again. It's not a MacGuffin this time. This is the audience knows that this guy's a spy. The audience knows that probably the Germans are going to find out, and it's how they sort of walk around and combat each other and try and avoid the truth coming out.
It's like the oh my god, how's he going to get out of this one?
Can I just say now, by the way, this movie has changed forever the way I order 3 drinks.
Yeah.
Because I don't do it 3 with my middle fingers anymore. I do it 3 with my thumb, which is how apparently the Germans do it. There you go.
Oh wow.
There you go. I know.
But that's it for me. I think this movie's too much otherwise.
Really?
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
I think you've actually, with what you've just said, have changed my mind about the film. I thought it was,
Back yourself, James. Have a backbone. What are you doing?
Shut your face, me, you silly boy.
All right, sorry.
It is. Obviously, it's a film, but there are just outstanding scenes within that film, and the other bits are fillers. But it kind of molds into one. But when you actually think about it a little bit more, if Christoph didn't play that character, would it be the same?
I think you've articulated what I was trying to say better than I did. It's individual scenes are very good in this, but they don't necessarily gel together in the same way that the time cutting stuff does in his previous movies.
Which is something that he, as you just said, Tarantino does particularly well.
Yeah.
So it's not quite as up to his standard, probably.
Yeah.
It's still good. It's good.
Yeah.
Okay, it is a good film, but I think it's not as good as that other elements that he's done before.
Yeah. Ben, you got any other thoughts on this one, or should we move on?
I think it's great. It's not my favourite of his movies, but I think it's really good. I think some of the scenes that we've talked about are so tense, it's unbelievable. The La Louisiane scene itself just makes my skin crawl every time I watch it. At one point, apparently, Leonardo DiCaprio was up for playing the role of Hans Landa. How different would the film been with DiCaprio?
That's what I mentioned. I think it's almost like you just can't see anyone else playing that role.
Now you've seen Christoph Waltz play it, absolutely.
Yeah.
The film would have been completely different with DiCaprio in that role.
Yeah,
but anyway, I really enjoy it. I know why you don't like it. I get it. It's fine. Next up, Django Unchained. With the help of a German bounty hunter, a freed slave sets out to rescue his wife from a brutal Mississippi plantation owner.
I don't like this movie at all.
Okay.
Not at all.
Okay. Now, this is where my theory about his version of the universe and his movie universe, I don't know where this film sits. Because it is, by all accounts, a very accurate portrayal of what some of the... not portrayal, but some of the things that the slaves in this film went through is accurate to what they actually went through during the times of slavery.
Yeah, but just go and watch 12 Years a Slave if you want that, because
fine, okay,
if that's what you're after. I just think this movie is just over the top nonsense. Just nonsense. I'm sort of feeling uncomfortable sitting. You see me like
you're literally recoiling.
My body's twitching a little bit. I just found this movie over the top. I couldn't.
I guess we talked about Kill Bill and being over the top in that genre.
Yeah.
And I think this is the same. The use of a certain word is too much.
Yep.
It's too much.
Oh, absolutely.
I kind of it's really difficult for us because we're tiptoeing around quite a serious subject about history and lives and things, and so I agree with what Ben said. I think the portrayal of of that is very extreme,
and it's important.
And it's important, but I think use of words was a little bit too much, and
DiCaprio is Tom Hardying in this movie.
Yes, he is.
I'm getting a funny look, but I'm right. DiCaprio is not DiCaprioing. DiCaprio is a great actor.
Yeah,
he chews the scenery a little bit,
but in this, it's just like, oh man, stop.
His acting around the dinner table, where he hits the table and he cuts his hand.
He actually cut his hand, right?
He actually cut his hand. Yeah. He didn't actually wipe his blood on Kerry Russell's face. Not Kerry Russell, what's she called? Kerry Washington, beg your pardon. But he did cut his hand, and then they got some fake blood to put on Kerry Washington's face, because that would have been grim. Yeah. But he did carry on his scene after he cut his hand, and he spouted some of the most absolutely vile words in the English dictionary. One thing I don't like about it as well, this is a very small thing, but it's big for me. Quentin Tarantino's in it as an Australian.
Oh, he's awful. Worst cameo.
Why?
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting.
Why?
I mean, looking at Wikipedia, this tells me that this is Tarantino's biggest grossing movie.
Is it really?
Crazy.
Well, there you go.
Grossing over 425 million worldwide against its 1 million budget.
Jamie Foxx is terrible as well. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt
really?
you. I thought you were finished. Sorry.
No.
Sorry. I really don't like him. I don't like him as an actor.
I think
you don't like him as an actor?
No, I really don't. I think he's so overrated.
Okay, I think Tarantino went with Will Smith. Replace Jamie Foxx in this film with Will Smith.
Oh,
what is it?
God, I don't know.
Is it Tarantino making Wild Wild West?
Probably. That for me is a bit like Will Smith trying to be Dr. Dre or something. It's not quite right.
I put in like a Denzel Washington or something. I don't know. There's something about this.
There are some bits of the film that I like. There are bits where he makes fun of how inept all the Ku Klux Klan members are when they show up in the hoods that they can't really see through properly.
Yeah, the dialogue in it's funny.
Yeah.
It's got loads of good stuff in it. I came out of it thinking, oh, that was over the top.
I think the shootout scene, not the first one, the one
in the house at the end. You mean?
Yeah, the one that starts when Dr. King Schultz shoots DiCaprio, and then it all goes from there. With how violent and bloody and blood exploding out everywhere, that could possibly put it into his movie alternate universe, not his alternate universe.
And also, haven't they got like more bullets than possible in the guns? And
likely,
there are just henchmen everywhere, and it just goes on.
Yeah.
This is one of my problems with Tarantino is that my interest has dipped massively as time has gone on. I think Once Upon a Time in Hollywood looks great. I'm really interested in it, but this is
when he's on this downward curve.
Yeah.
Okay,
too much free reign. Too much. I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe that's why I like Jackie Brown, because he didn't write it. Right? It's a set box that he's within.
Yeah, absolutely. Jamie Foxx and Kerry Washington's last name in this film is Von Shaft.
As in Shaft.
As in blaxploitation film.
Yeah.
So Django is supposed to be a great ancestor of John Shaft.
Which is over the top.
A little bit.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like it's unnecessary.
Why can't it just be that he's like a brave man doing great deeds? Why does he have to be a brave man doing great deeds who's linked to this,
That's Tarantino
now
isn't it?
comedy?
That's Tarantino. Right, let's move on to the last film we're going to talk about. Let's move on.
Go on.
The Hateful Eight.
I haven't seen it.
No.
Have you not?
No.
Goodness. Okay.
Sorry.
In the dead of a Wyoming winter, a bounty hunter and his prisoner find shelter in a cabin currently inhabited by a collection of nefarious characters.
Looks great.
It does look great. The music again is fantastic. There's someone who you think is the star maybe doesn't last as long as maybe he should. Someone who you think is a bad guy actually turns out to be not the worst person in the world. But basically what this is a murder mystery. This is an Agatha Christie film as a Western in Quentin Tarantino's universe.
Okay.
It's not his best film. I do think this is an improvement though on Django. I'd put it up there with Inglorious Basterds. I genuinely would.
Up there?
Yeah, I think so. Oh yeah, but you don't like Inglorious Basterds. Okay,
fair enough.
fine.
But you can see why I didn't watch this movie.
Yeah, I think. After Django, you were not.
Well, I
keen
think
at all.
you don't like it because it's the Western element of it.
No, I love Westerns.
Yeah, I know, but I think it's because of his take on it.
Sure.
That's what you don't like. So it's not what you hold as your quintessential Western movie.
Yeah. When I think he's done it so well with Kill Bill 2 already, I don't need. Yeah.
And you don't need it again.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. Which is interesting because Django's almost a Western.
Django is a Western.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
also
Western.
a blaxploitation movie.
Sure. Yeah. It is,
Yeah. So he's done a lot of Westerns there.
Yes, he has. I will say that Kurt Russell is fantastic in this movie, and he is a bounty hunter, and he's caught Jennifer Jason Leigh's character, who plays Daisy Domergue, and she is foul-mouthed and absolutely superb in it. She is terrible. She is a genuine bad guy, but she portrays it so well. It's unbelievable. It is unbelievable. And there's twists and turns, and no one's who you think they are, and it's great. I really love it. And it's set in the winter, so anytime blood hits the snow, which is not as often as you'd think, actually, it's just superb. But it's because they're in this cabin, and it's in the middle of this raging snowstorm, and no one really trusts each other, and they're sort of hiding out because of the storm, and someone's like thinking something's not right here, and then they start to work it out, and then it's just really, really good. I really enjoy it.
Maybe he's trying to do Reservoir Dogs again.
Possibly, yeah, possibly.
So yeah,
but this one isn't. This one isn't one person hiding out. Is all I'll say.
Yeah, okay. I'm not. I'm probably not. It looks good, but I'm probably not going to watch it.
again, that's absolutely fine. It's got a I wonder what happened at the end sort of ending to it, which
of course it has. Yeah.
I do enjoy it though. Of if you were to put me down and say choose to watch Inglorious Basterds, Django Unchained, or The Hateful Eight, I'd flip a coin between Hateful Eight and Inglorious Basterds, and I would put Django in the bin.
Well, with that in mind, what's your favourite, you two, of the Tarantino movies?
James, you go first.
I am probably going to go and say, I'm going to say Pulp Fiction. I think so. I think it's just all of the things that you've said, Ben, and it just makes me feel, I don't know, like you said, it was kind of a game changer. It felt like a game changer.
Agreed.
A game changer.
I agree. Pulp Fiction,
with some
100%.
really cool characters in there and some excellent dialogue. And
great music.
Yeah, all of that sort of stuff. You know, I loved it. It was good. It was really good.
And we know what yours is.
Yes, Jackie Brown.
Jackie Brown.
It's great.
Yeah,
Brown.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Should we ask this this young lady who seems to have appeared in the room what her favourite Quentin Tarantino film is?
Yeah.
Hello, young lady. May I ask you your opinion on your favourite Quentin Tarantino film?
Kill Bill Volume 1.
Wow,
What a great answer, because that's my favourite Kill Bill film as well.
Wow.
Why?
Why do you like Kill Bill Volume 1 more than Volume 2?
It's just very exciting, and there's lots of strong female characters, and I like the...
You love whistling.
I love whistling. Yeah. Oh, what's going on? All right. Okay.
It's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, well done you. Well done you. What do you prefer to Volume 2?
I think I've just seen it more times, to be honest.
Fair enough. It has been out longer, technically, I guess. By 6 months or so. Okay, excellent.
So, Ben, if people
How
want...
are we going to find out that the whistling is actually in the second film?
Yeah, absolutely.
No,
yeah.
it's the first one.
Yeah.
It's when Daryl Hannah's showing up into the hospital
Yeah.
to give her a lethal injection, and Bill says, call it off, let her live.
If people want to tell us what their favourite Quentin Tarantino movie is, or if they want to tell us that we've missed something crucial when we've been reviewing these movies,
Like I did when I talked about Death Proof. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
How can they do that?
They can get us on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. So just search for Nerds Chatting. That's all one word, Nerds Chatting. And send us a tweet or a Facebook post or a like or a follow or
You can email. You can email me as well.
You can email, yeah. That's nerdschatting@outlook.com.
Correct.
Have you had an email yet?
Some emails.
Have you had an email to the Nerds Chatting account yet? You're supposed to be forwarding them to me.
No.
Oh, for God's sake.
No. There was one guy who was like, oh, it was direct messages, but I do see them. It was like, I promote podcast. Do you have podcast?
Yes. I didn't reply to it. I think I said yes. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, why?
So this podcast will be available on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify and on YouTube and other places where you might get your podcast.
Cool.
In tune or something. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
So in 2 weeks' time, Benjamin and I will be reviewing Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. You'll be off sunning yourself.
Yes, I will.
So we'll speak to you then.
Thanks for tuning in. Bye.
Cheers, guys.
Bye.